It was Zach Ames shining when the AMSOIL Arenacross checkered flag waved in Tulsa, and Ames left with a points-leading red background number plate. With the tour rolling into Albuquerque for 2 nights of racing, will he be able to extend his lead? Find out next. Things are really starting to get interesting as we open up Tingley Coliseum in Albuquerque, New Mexico for AMSOIL Arenacross, featuring Ricky Carmichael's Road to Supercross on Fox Sports 1. Hello everybody, welcome. I'm Robbie Floyd. This is the Supercross and Motocross champ Grant Langston. Christy Lee will join us here in just a moment. It wasn't that long ago at Tulsa, Oklahoma, the first race to the championship event, where really it was Zach Ames that showed his dominance that he's had all year long. He has a 7-point advantage coming into this round over second place.
7 points is always great. You want to be in the lead. But at the end of the day, that can be gone in one main event. Zach Ames has been the bridesmaid several times. We want to see, is this his year to shine? But behind him, he's got a host of talented kids, as well as the 3-time reigning champ, Tyler Bowers.
Yeah, Tyler Bowers, the 3-time champ. He's third in his own team coming into this round, but things can change in a hurry. The championship points have closed up for Tyler Bowers, now only 6 behind Ames after a victory in a main event last night. Jacob Hayes takes a win as well, moves up to third. Zach Ames had a tough night with 3-5 main event scores.
Speaking of last night, let's take a look back at main event 2 from last night. Out front, Mike McDade as well as Willie Browning. They would go at it. Willie Browning out front, but coming through the pack, our reigning champion Tyler Bowers as well as Jacob Hayes riding very well. Bowers has a look up the inside of Browning, perfectly executed block pass, and he sets off. Next in line, Jacob Hayes trying to make his way around Willie Browning, which he does, and he goes after our reigning champion and runs him down, but just runs out of time, and Tyler Bowers takes the win.
Bowers and Hayes were giving each other fits, both taking main event wins. One guy we did not see was Zach Ames. Right now, he's with Christy Lee.
Zach, your bike has adorned the red plates for a majority of this season. With only a few races remaining, are you starting to feel the championship in your sight?
Yeah, you know, I can see it, but I'm still taking it race by race. You know, there's still a lot of racing left, and you know, it's been fun up here leading the points and having a big target on. And this is definitely my best season, and I'm looking forward to see what my team Babbitts, Monster Energy, and AMSOIL Kawasaki can do.
What about some of the competition in the field, especially defending champion and teammate Tyler Bowers?
Yeah, you know, my teammate Tyler Bowers is he's real tough. You know, he knows how to win races. He knows how to win championships. So he's going to be real tough, and we'll see what we can do.
Thanks a lot, Christy. Now let's take a look at our GoPro track preview with Willie Browning and that motorsport.com KTM and the GoPro Hero 3 Plus.
Tight left-hander onto the start straight. Sweeping left first turn that comes into a pretty tricky set of whoops that are deteriorating. You see the tough blocks out there trying to force these guys to create different lines, giving these guys fits, unable to stay on top. And now with the ruts developing as well, not able to triple through these sections most of the time, coming into this tight right-hander before the finish line. And that's a lap here at Albuquerque.
I'd like to thank Willie Browning and that GoPro footage, and we still have a lot of racing to go. The points are crazy. These guys are going at it.
Getting the #1 plate means everything.
I'll do whatever it takes pretty much to get this championship.
And I've always wanted to win the championship. It'd be awesome.
Bang off a couple wins and see if I can win this thing.
So I'm gonna go out there and do what I do and try to get this thing wrapped up.
The time is now. You gotta get off the pot.
Zach, you're exactly right. Welcome back to Tingley Coliseum. Robbie Floyd, Grant Langston, Christy Lee with you here at night number 2 of AMSOIL Arenacross. The format, we start off with heat races. If you don't make it in the heats, you have to ride a last chance qualifier. We also have what is called a bracket race for valuable championship points. One up for grabs making that bracket race if you qualify high, another point if you win it. And of course, 2 main events each night. There's the likable Oklahoma rider Corey Green, who sits 5th in points in that championship hunt. We sat down and talked to him earlier.
It was nice to make it into the race to championship. You know, that was what the whole first part of the season was about. You know, it always has been a big goal of mine to win a championship like this. You know, and I feel like this year, my parents, my whole family, and everybody's been behind me more than anything. You know, and I got as much of a chance this year to do it as I ever have. So we're going to see how it goes. The strategy right now is just mainly to stay consistent, you know, put myself in the show, and I've got a lot of confidence this year, and I think it can happen, you know. It's just the cards got to fall in the right place. Luck is a big part of it, you know. I mean, everybody claims to be a good starter, you know, but it's kind of luck. If you get into the first turn first, then you're obviously going to have a good race, and, you know, things got to go your way. If things aren't going your way that night, then, you know, you could be the fastest guy on the track, but you're still not going to win. I'm hoping when we get into Salt Lake City that I'll be a little bit closer to the points lead than what I am now. But like I said, we're going to take it week by week and have fun at it and keep working hard. We got a few rounds left, so now is kind of the crucial part. It's always tough when you're a privateer like myself. We've made it work my whole career, so, and I've had an awesome time doing it, so I'm going to keep it at that. You know, if something ever comes up, that'd be great, but if not, we've made it work this long, so we'll keep on going. I think definitely the few years that I've had, you know, has helped me quite a bit.
Have to build momentum as we head towards Salt Lake City. You do that by winning your heat race. Heat race number 1 and 2, same format with 15 riders, 10 laps. The top 7 move directly to the mains. The top 4 go to the head-to-head bracket race.
Our top qualifier, Tyler Bowers on the inside next to his teammate Colt Nichols, gates down. But it's the Honda boys showing it in the first turn there. Jacob Hayes, but Bowers up the inside.
Hayes jumping into that whoop section, trying to find the rhythm on that number 90 machine, but there's Bowers. The inside gives him a little room. Hayes on that Pabst Tyler Racing Tough Honda.
Jacob Hayes actually tripled through the middle there. Green flag, we're good to go racing. No issues out here. First heat race, guys coming over as we see a few guys not able to jump the finish line.
Do you like being the first heat race of the night when you have the fresh, clean track in front of you?
You do, because just like this, as we're seeing, the ruts aren't that bad, so these guys have options. They can triple like right there. They're skimming the whoops. As that deteriorates, it gets a little worse. So it's a catch-22. You could have a great heat race, but if you come later in the evening in the second race or like a LCQ, you know what the track's going to be like more for the main.
Look at Tyler Bowers. That last time he took the outside line, taking a middle-of-the-road approach more towards that outside. Look at Hayes on the inside where the ruts. We saw in that GoPro track preview how that inside was running up. It looks like Tyler wants no part of those ruts.
Well, Tyler's specialty is the whoops. So he's the kind of guy that I would have always figured he'll approach it, keep your momentum, rail that left-hander before the whoops, and go down the right-hand side. That way you don't disturb. We saw Hayes trying to square up this turn like he's doing right now. Squares it up, but the lap before he lost his momentum and had no drive coming in, wasn't able to skim him like he's doing now. So it's going to get tough as the evening goes on.
Jacob Hayes jumping that triple, not able to triple out. The top 4 go to the head-to-head bracket race. Top 7 to the main event. You see the clutch lever adjustment. Try to take out a little slack, a little play in the line there. We're about halfway through this heat race number 1.
At the halfway point, I think the front 2 are pretty much set. They got to stay on 2 wheels. But this battle is brewing up for these 3rd, 4th, all the way through 7th position.
Look here.
Gray Davenport doing what you need to do in the whoops. You got to stay on top, carry that momentum. He gets around Mike McDade, made it look quite easy, so he finds himself in that 3rd position. And if you're Mike McDade, don't turn around because Colt Nichols is right there.
Yeah, the Babbitts Monster Energy Amazon Kawasaki 45. The 916 is Great Davenport out of Lehi, Utah, in the Action Suspension South Valley Motorsports AJ Oilfield Services machine. A former winner back in 2009, so he has a main event victory, just one, and it was a while ago. It's a guy who's also racing in the Lights West Championship. Now you see McDade maybe trying to put the pressure back on.
Well, McDade probably took a look over his shoulder and saw a freight train there, and he's figuring, I need to be in that bracket race. This is championship time. You have to be in the top 4 because you need that bonus point. I mean, you basically need it no matter who you are. And all these guys want to be in that top 4 and go to that bracket race and hopefully get another bonus point.
Look at Colt Nichols to the inside, trying to get on that inside next turn as he goes next to Mike McDade. Will he make a pass?
They do the crossover of lines side by side, but Mike McDade has the inside going onto the start straight. Can he hold him off?
And it looks like he does. McDade holds that inside line. McDade again in 4th place, trying to transfer in that head-to-head bracket race. Look at the 471. The Pabst Tough Racing Honda back there. Also, Kyle Regal, we haven't even said his name, and he's a main event winner this year. He's trying to get in that top 4.
These guys bunching up at the moment, but look how quick these lap times are in the background. Tyler Bowers in deep traffic, but Gray Davenport, a guy we haven't mentioned his name in a while, but someone I'm familiar with. He's in this dogfight right now. These guys going for it, but Tyler Bowers, he's got that spotlight on him. Exactly how you want to start this evening.
Spotlight shows that this is the last lap. You want to see that on you because it shows that you're the leader, and there's the reason why. No problem with big whoops. He just sits back, blows through them.
It might just be a heat race, but you know he's going to have first gate pick. He's going to go to the head-to-head to earn more bonus points, and he's got the first starting grid for the main event. Tyler Bowers will go through.
We look at Jacob Hayes, a considerable distance back in second, but second nonetheless. At worst, we'll get a third or fourth gate pick, finishing second in this heat race. Look at that traffic jam, a log jam with it looks like Nichols and McDade in there. As you take a look at the top four, they move to the head-to-head bracket race. The top seven, they go to the main events. Let's go down to Christy Lee, who's with Tyler Bowers after taking that convincing heat race #1 win.
Tyler, the competition continues to thicken as the championship winds down. What are you doing to up your game with only a few races remaining?
Well, I told my team this weekend that I'm going to act like there's hot lava out there. You know, if you ever played the game when you're a little kid, where you jump around the couch and you act like there's hot lava on the floor and you can't touch the floor, that's what I'm doing with the dirt. I'm going to stay off the ground, stay out of the lappers, and have fun.
Sounds easy, doesn't it? We'll see him in the head-to-head and main events a little bit later. Welcome back to AMSOIL Arenacross in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Robbie Floyd and Grant Langston with you. Now let's send it down to our partner, Christy Lee.
We just saw some of our top race to the championship contenders in the last heat race, but one of the contenders who did not make the top 10 cut was the number 5 of Kelly Smith. He did qualify on top tonight. When I spoke with him earlier, he said he's still looking for as many race wins as he can as we continue to wind down on the season. There should be some good racing tonight.
Thanks a lot, Chrissy. As we prepare for heat race #2, look at that starting lineup. The 15 riders going for 7 spots, moving to that main event, and also the top 4 going to the head-to-head bracket race. 32nd board is sideways. We'll see how the 5 of Kelly Smith does, and also on board with Willie Browning on that outside. That's usually not a good sign, but he turns it into a pretty good start. Oh, and there goes Zach Ames, number 3.
Well, the 2 guys you mentioned actually came into the first turn, 1 and 2, but Zach Ames came in there, man on a mission. He wants to get out front. He saw what his teammate did in heat race 1, and he knows that's probably his toughest competitor for this championship, so he's got to try and mirror everything that he does.
Jacob Hayes might have something to say about that as well, but look at the
other people.
The red number plate signifies he is the series points leader. That's Zach Ames on that Babbitt's Monster Energy AMSOIL Kawasaki.
Wow.
The Team Faith rider just behind him. He's working across those whoops. Kelly Smith looks strong tonight on the 5.
And those whoops definitely a lot tougher than it appears on TV. Zach Ames, one of the guys I really give a lot of credit to for his whip ability. And he even, you know, feet off the pegs, you know, the seat's kicking his butt, you know. It's so much going on through there. It's a struggle for these guys every lap. But watch him. Look at Ames. Look at that head.
Power.
Focused. Nailed it that time. Probably stretch it out just a little bit over Kelly Smith, who's trying to keep tabs, and he triples in. Will he triple out? That's how you go through a rhythm
That's
session.
the fast line. You see the Travis Sewell, the 206 just behind. He's going to lose ground if he's not able to keep up that rhythm. Kelly, a fast outdoor rider as well. You see him powering through that berm.
Yeah. He's bringing
He looks good.
He looks like he's just what he said. I can't win the championship, but I want to win races. So I think he's got that mentality, go big or go home. You know, I'd rather win or crash, not finish second.
These are the waning races in the 2014 AMSOIL Arenacross campaign. He wanted to be in that top 10 and have a chance. That's out of the question. Now he's just going to try and do his best in 11th. As Christy said, try and win main events. Travis Sewell's looking for a main event victory as well. He's in 3rd. 4th place, the 6 of Willie Browning on that motorsport.com MJM Express spine chillers machine. He looks good making that head-to-head bracket race, and the battle heats up behind them. Again, 7 move on to the main event.
Travis Sewell, guy we haven't talked a whole lot about. See that rut getting really deep there coming on the start straight. They're probably going to be down to concrete here before the end of this heat race.
Just another one of the factors you have to deal with. Deteriorating track. I mean, the course workers, they do change. They adjust it throughout the night, but you can only do so much. I like the dirt here. They're getting traction. That's what's making those ruts as we look at a little cross up there for Willie Browning.
Look at this rut. You can't quite see it yet, but I'm telling you, that concrete is about to peek through. And I love these onboard shots. It kind of gives the folks at home a little bit of an idea of what it's like. Willie hopping. You can see that head bobbing, even though he's trying not to. Someone collected some tough blocks over there, pulled it out in the track. But Zach Ames, quick clutch adjustment, hits that rut. He's got this race under control so far.
And he's about a 10th away from his fastest lap. Fast, consistent laps, and looking strong still. Travis Sewell out of Indiana, the 2:06. Good to see riders from different parts of the country on the TZR Woodstock KTM.
He's making ground on Kelly Smith. You know, Kelly was hanging on to Zach, and the minute he lost that toe, it just seems like Travis Sewell now has caught up to him, and all of a sudden, we could have a battle for second.
Well, if Kelly's saying, well, I've got second sewed up, maybe he tones it back a little bit, saves a little energy. We're not having to worry about the altitude here in Albuquerque, but maybe trying to save himself a little bit for the main events. Corey Green, we saw the little feature on him in 6th place. That's good enough to qualify for the main events. It's a guy who's a championship points contender in 5th. Ooh, that was an awful high wheel tap. It's hard to go fast when you're going up.
Well, this track is like, it's a living, breathing thing. It's changing every lap. And, you know, every time you try and do the same thing, your bike will react different because the track's changed. But up front, no matter what the track's like, Zach Ames looks ready to put this bike in the main event and take a heat race win, just like his teammate did. Zach Ames, your heat race 2 winner.
Taking the checker flag behind him is Kelly Smith. Nice convincing second. Sewell and the rest of the riders follow their way through those top 4 going to the head-to-head bracket race. Willie Browning in 4th, Janolfi, Green, and Daniel Blair, the riders making it to the main events. When I say main events, I mean 2 main events.
Zach, good clean heat race. You took an early lead. You got out front and never looked back. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. You know, I was kind of struggling in practice. You know, we had some mishap with the bike, had to swap a motor, but, you know, my team Babbitt's Monster Energy, AMA Kawasaki, we got great parts and great motors, so I wasn't worried. Started doing the rhythm, which helped me out a lot, and ready for tonight.
The heats are done, but the racing is far from over. We've got some head-to-head racing when we come back. Welcome back to AMSOIL Arenacross. Team Faith, Brian O'Rourke there behind the mic. He's been doing it for over 10 years, having the devotionals and kind of giving back to the fans of AMSOIL Arenacross. Good to have Team Faith as a part of the series. The bracket races, these are our top qualifiers. We start with 8, we're down now to 4. Ames and Smith going up against Bowers and Sewell. Whoever wins their head-to-head go into that final. Who's going to win this, Sewell or Bowers? We saw how fast Sewell was for a short while. Can he hold on for a lap and a half?
Well, he started off right. He got the whole shot. Let's see, because Tyler Bowers, he has a strong point. The whip's on the inside. I think this is, yeah, I saw that was going triple.
Does he have anything for him after that, though?
Yeah. I hate saying this, but it's over. He's got to keep it on 2 wheels. Bowers gets that white flag, meaning 1 more lap. But let's just watch this 3-time and reigning champion.
He didn't want to give up too many insides. You saw Sewell sneak a nose in. Anything can happen in a Arenacross, Grant Langston.
Well, if he holds it open here and goes to the exit of the turn, he might do what we call a pickup pass, where you clean both riders out. Hope you pick your bike up faster, but Tyler Bowers, he just checked himself into that final 2.
Who will he face? Will it be his teammate on the 3, Zach Ames, or the 5 of Kelly Smith? Good jump out of the gate. He's going to be on that outside. He's got to shut the door sometime, but maybe he's going to get a better run in the whoops.
Well, they're side by side. They both got a clean run, but Zach Ames, just a little more momentum. So Kelly Smith, close enough now at least to make a challenge, but see that triple-triple gives a little separation.
He double-tripled out, though. Kelly at least didn't try double-double-double his way through there.
But still, you're left with a double-triple-single, which, you know, it's better, but it still holds you up. Best way, 1 hop through there. Zach Ames, if he gets through these whoops clean, he's got this one, and he will be in the main event. Look at the feet coming off the pegs, just hanging off the back. He's going to face his teammate, his friend, his rival, the guy he needs to beat for the championship, Zach Ames. He will be facing Tyler Bowers in the head-to-head.
Well, what are you seeing out of Zach Ames different tonight than last night? I mean, he looks like he's going to challenge, and we know they're going to go head-to-head for that 1 championship point, but I mean, he looks strong tonight. He's trying to make a statement. The best time to do so is right here.
Well, this is it, right here, side by side, mana on mana. Who's it going to be? This is a time for Zach Ames to make a statement, say, this is my title. And he chops them off. They come through the turn. Teammates, friends, rivals, competitors. Going through the whips. Look at these guys. Sideways, hanging on. This is more than just a bracket race. This is to puff your chest. I am the guy that can win this year. And Zach Ames needs to show it right now. He has to win this.
And you get 1 point for winning this head-to-head bracket race. You get 16 points for winning a main event. But he's trying to make that statement saying that I am as fast as you. Matter of fact, I am faster than you.
Both these guys strong in the whoops. Zach Ames may even be a little stronger than Bowers, and he gaps it.
No question he was strong.
That was impressive from Zach Ames right there. He takes the hardest earned point I think he's ever had. That was really neat.
That was a statement race from Zach Ames. Let's go down to Christy Lee.
Thanks, Robbie. Here with Colt Nichols on the number 45 Kawasaki. Now, Colt, obviously, as we travel across the country with this series, the dirt is very different from state to state. What's so different about the dirt this weekend?
Yeah, it's just, man, it's really mulchy, really slick. It's got a weird base to it. It ruts up really good. So it makes for interesting racing because the lines change progressively throughout the race, and they're different every single lap. So it actually makes for very interesting racing.
Is there a concern that the track will continue to deteriorate as the night progresses as well?
It, sorry to interrupt you, but yeah, it breaks down so much, and the whoops get broke down. People start jumping them. The faces of the jumps get really rutted. The corners get rutted. Everything gets really rutted out, so you really got to be smart with your line choice.
Well, there you have it, another added factor to racing tonight. Colt, thanks again, and of course, good luck.
Yep, thank you.
How about Colt and the politeness? I was ready to say thank you, ma'am. Here we are in the last chance qualifier, starting off in the first lap with Steve Magis, rider number 12, out in front. Cheyenne Harmon, a new Team Faith rider, back in second. Only 2 make it to the main events out of the LCQ.
Stephen Magis kind of gives me a little reminder of Jake Weimer in the Supercross series. Same bike, similar style, same number. But right now, he's leading this LCQ, trying not to make any mistakes, because the only thing that's going to probably prevent him from getting in the main event is if he takes himself out.
Steve Magis not having the season we saw out of him last year, riding for Slackaware, Gateway Cycles, and Surety Tree Service. The rider from Ohio just hasn't clicked quite this year. Cheyenne Harmon, though, has kind of picked up as the years went on. He picked up the ride with Team Faith. He's in second, trying to qualify for the big bikes in the main event. And if he stays where he's at, he's going to do so.
You never know. You know, for some guys, even just changing a brand of motorcycle might be a little bit, you know, of a difference. And we saw Steve Magis on the KTM last year, now on the Kawasaki.
Right.
You never know. There might be an injury that guys are dealing with, and sometimes when your confidence is down and you know your overall morale is just lacking a little bit, it's just those little things, and it could take an LCQ win just to give him a, you know, get an attaboy from the team and know that, you know, he's pumped up for the main.
A little bit of a boost. You see the 845, Brandon Glenn out of Mesquite, Texas. So 2 Texas riders, second and third. Glenn in third spot. Kyle White, a fixture in AMA Arenacross, in fourth. He's got to make not 1 pass, but 2 passes if he's going to get in the main event. And he's not going to do it going through the whoops like that.
Yeah, he's got to pick it up. It's now or never. You know, you get that front wheel up, get on the gas. Rather go for broke and crash than not do it for him. But we still have a couple laps remaining in this LCQ, so he's got time. You don't want to panic. The last thing you want to do is throw it away before you even give yourself a chance. He's sitting there. He can see second place, but he's got to step it up. Stevie Magis, however, he's keeping it consistent, but those whoops are becoming a big factor. And we're seeing a lot of time gained and lost now. So in 1 lap, things can change dramatically, as we see now the top 4 punching up.
Cheyenne Harmon's closing in for second. If those guys, you know, stay away from each other, they'll probably be all right. But when you have Glenn going at it back there in third, he's thinking focus in front, not just trying to salvage. I'm going to start pressuring the situation.
Well, Harmon has to keep pushing, because, trust me, he takes a little peek over that shoulder and he sees 2 guys behind him. So he knows he can't tone it down, so he picks up the pace, and sometimes it makes a leader pick up the pace. So hopefully, with that said, we'll have a very fast white flag lap, meaning
right.
1 lap to go of this LCQ. These guys just want to get this over with. No mistakes, hop through the whoops, keep it tidy, keep it on 2 wheels. Let's go back to the pits, regroup, come up with a strategy, because you're going to be on the back row.
Yeah, and you're going to have a fast turnaround before the main events. Literally, it's in just a few moments. But it looks like Stephen Magis, congratulations to him. He makes another main event out of Sardinia, Ohio. Cheyenne Harmon in second on the Team Faith KTM in second.
Hey everyone, UFC fighter Clay the Carper Neguita, featherweight contender. You're watching AMA Arenacross at Tingley Coliseum on Fox Sports 1.
Will it be a night where Zach Ames, the series points leader, makes a statement and kind of separates himself like we saw in that head-to-head bracket race? Robbie Floyd, Grant Langston, Christy Lee with you. The field is set for both main events, and the fastest rider of the night as far as head-to-head was Zach Ames. But where will Tyler Bowers be after this first turn? On board with Willie Browning on the outside. He's going to get pushed wide. On the very inside, you see Jacob Hayes with a good start, as well as it looks like Colt 45, but here comes Bowers powering through the whoops.
Oh, and in the background, Michael McDade gets all crossed up in the whoops, keeps it on 2 wheels, but he is dead last. Tyler Bowers getting a great drive to the whoops. Most important is the first lap, getting through those whoops, because they're tough, but you could lose so much time, but he doesn't. He's out front. He got a small gap over Jacob Hayes. When I say small, it's almost not there anymore. But look at Zach Ames. We're talking about him and his momentum. He carries through the whoops, up the inside. Oh, and
he knocked on the door. He said, I'm here. He gave him room.
He said, hey, I'm the guy with the red background, which means I am the points leader and I am coming through. This is my time to shine.
We saw how fast Jacob Hayes was at the end of main event number 2 last night. This is main event number 1 tonight. Hayes didn't give up. It was good seeing the determination. Right now we're seeing determination out of Zach Ames, powering his way through that whoop section, but he needs to triple out, and he does.
Very impressive. The front 3 all pretty much trying to do the same rhythm. Colt Nichols slightly different there, but Zach Ames to the inside. Oh, they almost collect each other, but carrying that outside line, you got more momentum.
But you give up that inside line, and that's not necessarily what you want to do in AMA Arenacross, but there's how you make a pass.
That's the difference between staying on top when I talk about skimming and trying to hop through them like a rhythm. Zach Ames, Tyler Bowers are the 2 that are so good at that. I mean, these guys are phenomenal through the whoops. I don't know if folks at home realize just how technical and tough this section coming up to
Staying
now
on top is for 99% of the fans watching could never do. You would be rolling over these. They are big whoops here tonight.
It's very tough, but there again, that's why these guys get paid for what they do and why they're the best at what they do. So now Zach Ames puts himself comfortably in second place.
Do you notice how he has the choice to go inside, outside, down that front straightaway, and he always chooses the inside. He's not going to give Jacob Hayes the opportunity to go underneath him and clean him out.
Exactly. But Tyler Bowers, he doesn't have to worry. He could go inside, outside. It's preference. So right there, take the outside, stay off that rut and hitting concrete, because he doesn't have to worry about protecting the inside, meaning no one's going to come in and slam him or try and take that, first position away.
See Jacob Hayes, a little trouble there trying to make that inside line. You see how rutted it. Closing in is the 3rd member of the Babbitt's Monster Energy AMSOIL Kawasaki team, Colt Nichols, 45. Colt 45, we call him, back there in 3rd, and he's starting to close in on Hayes. What's different between Hayes tonight than we saw last night when he took that main event win?
Yeah, well, there's a few things. I mean, one, this guy right here, Tyler Bowers, looks pretty flawless. That's one thing. The other thing is the track's different. It's been prepped different. They're probably going through the whoops different rhythms. I mean, this, as much as it may physically appear the same, it's a different track. And he just doesn't seem to have what he had to take that fight to Tyler Bowers last night. But no disrespect to him, he's riding phenomenal lately, just like this man who we had in our sit-down interview, Corey Green, another guy who just wants to go and win.
Right, not having quite the night he was looking for tonight. He was wanting to make up ground. He's losing ground in the championship. Currently in 9th place, trying to get by Travis Sewell. The Oklahoma kid's been strong this year and had a chance for the championship, but he can't have any 9th place finishes if he expects to win. But he might move up to 8th now and does so.
Or does he? Because we come into this left-hander and he's got Sewell there. Oh, Sewell stands it up in the rut. Nice work by Corey Green.
Sewell's nice to him, don't you think?
Yes, that was definitely a little bit of give and take, as we like to say. But give and take, the Babbitt's Monster Energy Kawasaki riders of Zach Ames and Tyler Bowers, they do have that as friends, but I do believe if it came down to a last lap for the title battle, the friendship's out the window. I could see these guys pushing the other one off the track for a win.
Well, you see Bowers 4/10 of a second quicker than Ames was on that last lap. 4/10 is an eternity in Arenacross. You're talking low 20-second range as far as lap times are at most of our stops.
As now we're on board with Willie Browning on this GoPro Hero 3 camera.
It's good to see the point of view of the rider.
It is, and this is on top of the helmet, but as a racer, it looks a little bit different, but you get the effect, at least of, you know,
just how hard
jarring
those
it
whoops
is. I mean, it really is. The whoop section, it physically beats these guys up, mentally and physically. Coming over this. People love the big finish line double, but it's the easiest thing on the track. You get a chance to take a breath, adjust your clutch, pull a tear off, whatever you need to do, unless you're out front like these guys where
Tyler Bowers didn't do the catapult that lap.
Well, I'm not sure why. There was no one in front of him. There wasn't the red cross flag. It's not the end of the world as we look at Colt Nichols, the third rider of this Monster Energy Babbitt's Kawasaki team. But getting back to Bowers, you know, maybe he just didn't get the drive. I mean, like I said, it's the easiest jump unless you get sideways before it because it's the biggest jump. So you need momentum. Maybe he made a mistake, but it's definitely allowed the gap to close up between the front two.
But we're on the last lap. The white flag signifies last lap. This is the point that can jump out and bite you. And
yeah,
he's not too worried about the whoops because he does have a considerable advantage. But you see his teammate in the picture.
Right there, actually.
Yeah, just behind. But he knows he only has one more turn to go. And he will take his 13th main event win of the season. Tyler Bowers does it. His teammate in second, so he loses one championship point. Zach Ames does. It closes that points battle. Bowers, Ames, Hayes, the victory podium. Nichols and Smith round out the top 5.
Not just another win for Tyler Bowers, but a crucial win if he wants to win this championship this year. He won main event 1. Can he keep it going?
Main event 1 was so good, we're going to do it again. Main event number 2, except this time we're going to re-rack the field because Tyler Bowers picked the 16 suitcase. That means they invert the 16 riders. So if you thought you had last pick on the gate, you now actually have first.
So it's a complete inversion. So all our top 8 finishes from main event 1 are on the back row. As you see,
Mike McDade, rider number 4 with a whole shot.
It gets a little chaotic now because you got faster guys in the back, so you got that rabbit and hare situation. So for the guys in the back row, it's pretty much make as many passes as you can, find a gap, and hopefully find yourself in that kind of a 5th place or somewhere, you know, 4th, 5th, 6th, somewhere in there on the first lap, because you give yourself better odds to win this, knowing that the guys that may be faster than you are still behind you.
It looks like Tyler Bowers right around mid-pack with about 8 riders or so behind him. As we see Mike McDade, who we thought would be a serious championship contender, doing that triple out section. Mikey got hurt. He said that he was waiting for that race to the championship, and then he was going to turn it on. But I think injuries kind of dictated a little bit of that thought.
And that's unfortunate with our sport of racing. Injury is a huge part of it. Tyler Bowers just made an aggressive pass right before the finish line. Watch him through the whip. Stay on top. He's going to get by Regal. See you later, buddy. And that's, as we see riders going down, not sure who that was. Looks like it could have been Willie Browning. But Mikey McDade, if he wants to win this main event, going back to the whoops, he's got to start blitzing him, which is staying on top, because this hopping motion, he's coming in and losing all his drive.
Well, do you hop consistently every lap, or do you struggle mightily trying to stay on top? I think he's trying to stay consistent. I can lose a 10th. But if I try and blitz him and I lose it, I could lose 5, 6, 7 tenths.
Or go down.
Yeah, right.
Like we've seen riders do all night. And
Cheyenne Harmon looks good. 6:45, still up there in the second position, trying to hold off Jacob Hayes, who already has, 5 main event wins on the year, and he's holding him off.
And Cheyenne Harmon went through the LCQ, the very last qualifying position, but unfortunately not able to carry that momentum through the whoops. And now Jacob Hayes gets through, and he now sets his sight on the leader, who, believe it or not, has a gap right now.
Yeah, almost a full straightaway. You see Mike McDade up, and Jacob Hayes finished 3rd in that first main event. He's currently in 2nd, so even though he had to start on that second row. See, that's going to cost him a little bit.
When you see dirt coming out from underneath the bike, that means you hooked a jump really hard, which means it drained all your momentum as it going forward. Looking a little further back, Tyler Bowers, he's still trying to work his way through the pack. He's got Travis Sewell in front of him. What's he going to do? They take the same line. Unfortunately, you cannot pass if you take the same line, but sometimes you're forced into it.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll set up in that whoop section, but you see just how quickly Jacob Hayes has caught up to Mike McDade. He triples in.
One reason.
He triples out, and he takes over the lead in one straightaway. It just shows you if you've got a bad rhythm and you leave the inside open, somebody will take it at this level.
It's simple. If you can triple, there are guys that are going to do it, the top guys. And when they do it, you don't, and they're behind you, guess what? Tough luck. Jacob Hayes to the front. I love this kid. He just goes for it. Watch it. Triple in, and McDade cannot. You know, that's where Mikey McDade is losing it. He's too cautious. It's like he's riding with an injury, like we were talking about earlier, which we know he's had an injury, but you see that confidence level's down. There's no blitzing the whoops. There's no tripling in the rhythms, and that allows these guys to come from the back row. Look at this. Watch this close down.
Making up big-time ground. Now let's see if Bowers not able to triple that time, so he's actually...
But he's got the inside, and
he loses ground to Hayes, but he takes over a position on McDade.
Like we say, you don't have to make the pass going down the straight. Put yourself on the inside next to the guy, because guess what? You control that next corner.
One thing we're looking at is Zach Ames trying to work his way up there and trying to get into sixth. This is a guy who holds that red number plate. He might lose the championship points lead, but he gains the position there and gets by Corey Green. Ames had to work his way up. He didn't do it as quick as Hayes and Bowers, but now he's starting to close in as two more guys just in front of him. This is for the championship. When we leave here tonight, we only have two more venues to go. We're on lap 11 of 15 here in Albuquerque. Jacob Hayes out in front, Tyler Bowers in second. Can Bowers make up the ground and get by Hayes?
Well, Jacob Hayes just been on fire this weekend. I think this dirt really lends itself to his riding style. You can see the roost coming off that rear tire when these guys accelerate. Even some dust coming through.
Yeah, Jacob Hayes with a strong weekend, a first, a second, a third, currently in first. There's Bowers still powering his way. He's got to triple out, and he's not doing it. You're not going to beat Jacob Hayes with that rhythm. Not if he keeps tripling.
Well, time's running out, so if you want to make up time, you got to hope the leader's not doing it and you are. If it's the other way around, forget about it. And at this point, you know, these guys are also starting to figure out the logistics of everything. Bowers is going, hey, this guy with the red plate, which means the championship leader, is behind me. And that's important. A second sometimes is as good as a win. But for Zach Ames, right now, when you're the leader, you have to win.
Yeah.
You don't win championships if you can't win races.
And you can't be thinking about Bowers, though.
And he is trying to get as many points as he can, doing damage control, knowing that his main rival is still ahead of him.
Ooh. Bowers had problems with the whoops at our last round with the rider going down in front of him. There, he's probably thinking a lot of the same thing.
I feel like these whoops have become like Disneyland. It's an adventure getting through there. Guys are getting sideways, bucked, feet off the pegs. But white flag is out, meaning one more lap. I'm sure a lot of these guys glad not to see this whoop section again for a while. Jacob Hayes.
He's on damage control right now. His pit board probably said, you've got a 3-second lead. Don't do anything crazy.
As he triples.
As you triple. You make a right-hand turn, and you take your 6th main event win on the year. He is stoked for it because look behind him. You still don't see Zach Ames or Tyler Bowers. There goes Tyler, and Zach is still trying to pick up positions, and he's not going to be in that top 3, so you're making up ground. Hayes, Bauer, McDade, great ride by Travis Sewell, and the series points leader, Zach Ames, in 5th. Tonight's overall results has Tyler Bowers on top of Jacob Hayes, both with main event wins tonight. Zach Ames, unfortunately, finishes in 3rd place on the podium. He holds that red background, but he lost valuable championship points tonight, and right now he's with Christy Lee.
Zach, congratulations on the 3rd overall. Another great night of racing. It was definitely tough out there during the second main, especially after that 16 invert.
Yeah, you know, the 16 invert really makes it exciting and really shows what we can do. And with a track like this, you got to make passes happen soon. And we were going through clutches. I had a mishap in practice today. I had to swap motors, and my mechanic Scotty, he knocked that out with, with ease. And I just want to give thanks to my team, Babbitt's, Monster Energy, AMA Kawasaki. My bike's awesome this year. No matter what motor's in it, what suspension's on it, it seems to work fine, and I'm glad to be up here talking.
Zach holding strong in the championship points lead. Is that going to bring you some more confidence heading into next weekend?
Yeah, definitely. It's a lot of confidence, being the points leader, you got a target on your back, and, I've had it for a long time this year so far, and I think I can, really make it happen this year.
The Pabst Honda rider made it happen tonight. Jacob Hayes is in this championship hunt, and right now he's with Christy.
Jacob Hayes, another great night of racing, strong racing tonight. You said you were trying to tick away at that championship point standings. What's your goal going into next round?
Next round, be on the podium. That's the goal every weekend. Last night I came off a really strong ride, went 1-2 for second overall, and then tonight feeling great in practice, and then kind of rode stiff towards the main events, and rode a solid race for third in the first one, and then came off the inversion that one, and found myself in a good position to win the race, and pretty much took over the lead and checked out. So I was happy with it. So next weekend, game plan is get a couple first overall, and we'll be sitting pretty.
Tyler Bowers wins the main event as well, and the overall for the night. He's with Christy.
Tyler, another great night of racing, a strong weekend for you here in Albuquerque. Tonight was almost a carbon copy of last night. Definitely some tough competition out there. Tell us about your races.
Yeah, it was great. Track crew did a good job with the track this weekend. It was pretty hard because of the elevation, and they built us big whoops, big jumps, really technical track, hard for a lot of the riders, and I'm happy my team, Babbitt's, Monster Energy, AMA Kawasaki, got me off to the win.
And as a defending champion, are you feeling some pressure going into the next round with only a few races remaining?
As a defending champion, I'm happy to go into the next round with a few races remaining. So, I was down 12 points going into the weekend. I think I'm down 3. So I'm pretty happy with my weekend, and I'm just going to try to keep doing the same thing.
Congrats again to the #1 of Tyler Bowers.
Looking at the race to the championship, it has tightened up. Tyler Bowers cut it in half once again. Only 3 points behind Zach Ames. Jacob Hayes only 11 behind. With only 3 nights remaining in this race to the championship, we're down to a 3-horse race. We saw determination from Jacob Hayes this weekend. We saw determination from Zach Ames tonight, but we still see that #1 plate holder Tyler Bowers not wanting to let go.
When you've won, you don't want to lose that feeling. The other 2 guys, Ames and Hayes, they want to win. They've shown signs of brilliance, but it comes down to you've got to put it together race after race after race and have the most points at the end. And unfortunately for these guys, I think Tyler Bowers is getting in his groove, and he wants that 4th title.
Yeah, he does definitely. He's starting to find that groove. There's only 2 more venues to travel to. Make sure you follow us at one of those 2 stops remaining on the AMA Arenacross season. Make sure you check us out online at arenacross.com, on Facebook, on Twitter. For Grant Langston, Christy Lee, I'm Robbie Floyd. We'll see you next time in Texas.